Electoral Commission will be doing following her death. So much has happened so far, and we will be breaking it down for our understanding. So today we'll bring you Front Story, we'll bring you Ghana Speaks, we'll bring you Business Fix. We will also bring you the main discussion for the day. We'll bring you the latest in sports and trends. Bring you politics today, and on executive interview, which is a segment for you and you only. You can call us on 053-916-1609 so that you are featured on executive interview. This is the only segment that is for you and for you. You tell us about your services, your startup, whatever you are doing. We'll be glad to feature you on it. And also for Happy Hour, if you have any birthday wishes, any well wishes for anybody, just text us on the same number 053-916-1609, and we will help you wish that special person a happy birthday. So we are bringing you all of these on ABC in the morning. We'll open the phone lines at some point, and for you to also have a say on what is happening in Ghana and on the various conversations we'll be having on ABC in the morning. When we open the phone lines, you can call us on 053-916-1609. When we open the lines, we'll be glad to hear from you. So we are bringing you these and more on ABC in the morning today. Just make sure that you are part of us and you enjoy it. On Business Fix, like we've been doing already, we've been going through financial literacy. We will bring you the value of investment. The value of investments. For those of you who invest, do you know the value of what you're doing? For those who are averse to investing, don't you think you are on the wrong side if you are not investing, if you are not putting your money somewhere to yield for you? We will also be bringing you main discussion, the latest from the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court dismisses Speaker Badman's application. And we will also be bringing you on politics today, what becomes of the debate. We've been calling for a debate between the two major political parties. No debate yet. President Mahama put some questions before Bawumia, and former President Mahama puts questions before Vice President Bawumia, and also Vice President in turn put some questions before President Mahama. Yesterday on the X platform, one of those questions was trending, question 48. We'll see how far all of these will go. So we're bringing you all of these on ABC in the morning. You want to stay with us and you want to be glued. So go through all of what we have for you. Let us know which part you want to have a say on. And when we open the phone lines, you get the opportunity to speak and speak freely. This is ABC in the morning. Stay with us. We will be back shortly. Welcome back. Let's head straight into our Front Story for today on ABC in the morning. We're looking at the cost implication of the already printed materials after the death of the GFP leader, and also the implications on the electoral materials, like we've said. So this morning on Front Story, we are turning our attention to some pertinent issues arising following the untimely demise of Akua Donkor, the founder and presidential candidate of the Ghana Freedom Party, GFP, on Monday, October 28, 2024. Madame Akua Donkor was a staunch advocate for the rights of farmers and women, and her bold, outspoken demeanor enabled her to capture public attention and significantly impact the grassroots communities she aimed to represent. And with her passing, her running mate in the 2024 presidential elections, Kwabena Agyemang Appiah Kubi, known in the media as Roman Father, is expected to step into her shoes, a decision yet to be communicated by the GFP. And as part of the 2024 elections began, Her untimely death raises critical questions. Questions such as what will happen to the Ghana Freedom Party? Will it survive beyond her, or does it risk losing momentum and relevance without her leading voice? Following this issue, the Electoral Commission says it has suspended the printing of presidential ballot papers for Elections 2024. The Commission, in a press release on Tuesday, referenced Article 50, Clause 4 of the Constitution and has therefore given the Ghana Freedom Party 10 days to nominate a new presidential candidate. The Commission explained that while the 1992 Constitution and the Public Elections Regulations 2020 CI 127 are not clear on processes to follow in the event of the death of a presidential candidate, Article 50, Clause 4 of the 1992 Constitution provides as follows: where at the close of nominations but before the election one of the candidates dies, a further period of the 10 days shall be allowed for nominations. Let's take a look at what the Constitution outlines in situations of such character, situations such as what has happened. Articles 50, Clause 4, CI 127, Regulation 17. Let's take a look at it. So the Article 50, Election of Candidates, Clause 4, where at the close of nominations but before the election one of the candidates dies, a further period of 10 days shall be allowed for nominations, and where the death occurs at any time within 25 days, before the election in that constituency or unit shall be postponed for 21 days. At least at the moment, elections are not within 21 days. And this is what CI 127, the Public Elections Regulations 2020, on the death of a candidate says. Where an election is to be held and a candidate dies on the eve of the election and proof of death of the candidate is given to the returning officer before the commencement of the poll, the returning officer shall put on hold proceedings in relation to the election and inform the Commission. It also says that the Commission shall, on receipt of information under Sub-Regulation 1, adjourn the poll and allow a period of 10 days for the political party to which the candidate belonged to nominate a new candidate. Where the deceased candidate was an independent candidate, the Commission shall not permit the nomination of another person, and proceedings in relation to the election shall continue. Where a candidate is nominated by a political party, the Commission shall adjourn elections in the constituency of the deceased for a period of 21 days from the day of the nomination of the new candidate. This is also what the CI says about the death. So now let's take a look at EC statement on the death of Madame Akua Donkor, the presidential candidate of the Ghana Freedom Party. The Electoral Commission has today received information on the unfortunate passing of the presidential candidate of the Ghana Freedom Party, Madame Akua Donkor. May she rest in peace. While the 1992 Constitution and the Public Elections Regulations 2022 CI 127 are not clear on processes to follow in the event of the death of a presidential candidate, Article 50, Clause 4 of the 1992 Constitution provides as follows: where at the close of nomination but before the election one of the candidates dies, a period of 10 days shall be allowed for nominations. The Commission has since informed the GFP to make arrangements to nominate a new candidate and inform the Commission accordingly. In the meantime, the Commission has suspended the printing of presidential ballot papers, which was near completion. Signed, Samuel Tete, Deputy Chairman of Operations. So this is what the EC says. The EC has given the Ghana Freedom Party a period to nominate a new candidate for the elections. However, the question on the minds of many people is what happens to the already printed ballot papers? Given the novelty of this situation, how should matters surrounding reprinting of ballots be handled? We will try and engage the Secretary for GFP, George Affo, to get to know the way forward for the party, and as well as Kudeo on matters such as these. We understand that this is novel. This is novel. It hasn't happened before, so we want to understand how things will happen. At the moment, GFP has given them the opportunity. The EC has given the GFP an opportunity to nominate someone else to take the stead of Ekua Donkor. But the EC also says that they were almost done with printing of ballot material, presidential ballot materials for the elections. What happens to these materials? What happens to the materials? How much is it going to cost us? When we spoke with lawyer Yao Dankwa the day the news broke that Madame Ekua Donkor had passed, he said that this is going to cost Ghana a lot in terms of logistics. It is going to cost Ghana in terms of logistics, and we can see that because the ballot papers that have already been printed have her face on it. It means that it can't go into the elections with those ballot papers. If GFP nominates someone else, it will mean that the Electoral Commission will have to print new ballot papers with the new candidates on it. And all of these are the questions that have come up. Things that are taking place after the demise of the GFP leader. The General Secretary of the Ghana Freedom Party. Let's take a look at the woman Ekua Donkor.
And when you be free, when it's out, say, I didn't know you be free. Mr. Freeport, free education. I say, Central Station, be a mamma car. I say, insure free, can you free? Be I had to say, I have to crew. Now, Sandy, so I didn't know I'm a day banner. And you know, Sandy, I'm a way I'm a day banty, and I had a car seeing you free, you probably can't when you're free. Now, I was a young fine channel, I was the way but if I want to see you on the Supreme. And young boy, you want to Supreme, and he says, I don't say, you know, one of them see from. And then there be a cassa. You see, Muhammad, they were what was it? You ever catch a woman to say, and your concert in America. That's what was the concert in America. Almost had a young woman, if you say, young boy, young woman, and a man, when you made a baby, Miss Seven Party, and another party. It was a meeting, and a media, and into the plane in a mechanical, and a piano, and the young man. And it's young boy, and Coach man, and one other man, and let me be a man was a kind of play. And no, we are I don't know what
Ekua Donkor, many have described her as tenacious, going into these elections I mean, from previous elections up until now, she's been very tenacious and been determined that she would become the president of Ghana, regardless of the roadblocks that were in her way. Akua Donkor founded the GFP in 2011. She founded the Ghana Freedom Party in 2011 and got it registered in 2012. This was after she had served as an elected assembly member of the Himang electoral area in the Kwabre East region. So she didn't just burst out on the screen as a lot of people thought, that from nowhere she came and said she wanted to be a president of Ghana. She had served as an electoral member. She had served as an assembly member for the Himang district, the Himang electoral area in the Kwabre East district. And from assembly member, she moved to the constituency level and filed to contest as member of parliament at Kwabre East in the Ashanti region. She competed with the late Emmanuel Owusu-Ansah, a former judicial secretary and former Ashanti regional minister. After two unsuccessful elections in 2004 and 2008 as an MP, and determined to move her political party a notch higher, she moved up into the presidential race and formed the GFP in 2011. So after she had become an assembly member, she thought, I mean, after assembly member, let me take it a step further and become an MP. When she was unsuccessful with that bid, she decided the only way forward is up. So she moved another notch higher to say that she wanted to run for the presidential race. And because of that, she made the decision to form her party, the Ghana Freedom Party, in 2011 and got it registered in 2012. And in 2016, Madame Akua Donkor named Patricia Asante, a 32-year-old farmer, as her running mate. However, they were disqualified. In 2016, Madame Akua Donkor filed nominations but was disqualified. In 2020, she filed again. This time, her running mate was lawyer Ernest Adakabre Frimpong Manson, a radio presenter with the Despite Media. This time, she sailed through into the elections and won 5,574 votes, representing 0.4% of the total votes cast, and it placed her 11th out of 12 aspirants. She filed again to contest the 2024 general elections on the ticket of her party, the Ghana Freedom Party. And all through, she had been attending IPAC meetings herself. Her running mate for this year's elections is Ernest Frimpong Manson, popularly known as Roman Father. And at the time of her passing, Akua Donkor was actively preparing for the 2024 elections, where she was number 3 on the ballot paper. And with just 39 days left until the polls, it was reported that she had passed after a brief illness. So this is Madame Akua Donkor. Her passing has brought many questions as to how the elections will be conducted, the cost implications of the already printed materials that were taken into the elections. Because as number 3, when she picked number 3 at the balloting, she was very excited about her fortunes. She likened it to God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. She likened it to the Trinity and all. So she was very excited about her position on the ballot and was looking forward to winning the elections. Now, Madame Akua Donkor has passed. The EC is giving her party the opportunity to nominate another candidate in her stead. But many have raised concerns about the fate of the Ghana Freedom Party. Is it going to be one of those that die with their founders or their leaders? Or is the party going to wax strong even in the wake of her passing? These are some of the questions that have come up. Is the party going to pass with her, so much so that we will not hear of the party anymore? Or is the party going to continue? Are there structures in place in her party to make sure that it outlives her, Madame Akua Donkor? It is for the reason that we wanted to speak with the General Secretary of the Ghana Freedom Party. We have tried establishing contact to no avail at the moment. When we are able to, we will have the discussion on this. We'll have the discussion on the way forward for her party, the Ghana Freedom Party. We had also wanted to speak with Kodeo on the implications of on the electoral process, on the death of Madam Akua Donkor. We also tried establishing contact, but we've been unsuccessful. We apologize to our viewers for not bringing you any conversations on this. We'll do well to have more conversation on it when we are able to. But this is our forefront story this morning on ABC in the Morning.
We are currently here at Kamishi.
When the news breaks, we are there. In the heart of matters arising, we follow through with the right question. Don't miss a beat with our in-depth news analysis. From breaking news, special feature stories, latest news, we bring you the stories that matter. Our team of immersed reporters bring you the news as it happens. Join us every 6 a.m., 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. each day for a comprehensive look at the stories beyond the headlines.
Two to one.
You're watching ABC News GH.
ABC News GH, your trusted source for news.
Mid-year budget review with some key allocations.
We are currently here at Kamishi.
When the news breaks, we are there. In the heart of matters arising, we follow through with the right question. Don't miss a beat with our in-depth news analysis. From breaking news, special feature stories, latest news, we bring you the stories that matter. Our team of immersed reporters bring you the news as it happens. Join us every 6 a.m., 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. each day for a comprehensive look at the stories beyond the headlines.
2 to 1.
You're watching ABC News GH.
ABC News GH, your trusted source for news.
back and still watching ABC in the morning. Today on Ghana Speaks, we will open the phone lines for you to give us your opinion on yesterday's proceedings at the Supreme Court. The phone line is 053-916-1609. So at 9:30, we will bring you Ghana Speaks. We'll open the line so that you too can have your say. So put together your thoughts. Let us know what you think about yesterday's proceedings at the Supreme Court. But before Ghana Speaks comes, we are bringing you the latest in sports and some health trends. Derek Kumiki-Siedu will be bringing us sports. Eric Melo Chinebwa will be bringing us the latest. Will be bringing us the health tips. So stay tuned as they bring us sports and health tips. It's up next.
Million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia #1 on the ballot.
In 2017, the NPP inherited a fragmented digital infrastructure that limited public service efficiency. Since then, we've revolutionized how services are delivered with the Ghana card and mobile money interoperability, enhancing speed and accessibility. Our efforts have greatly improved government interactions, making life easier for every Ghanaian. However, our vision doesn't stop here. We aim to further expand and modernize Ghana's digital landscape. The journey towards a fully integrated digital society continues. Stand with us. Vote for innovation. Vote for Baumia. Baumia means business. In
2017, the NPP inherited an infrastructure network in need of renewal. We've since focused on building modern, resilient infrastructure, expanding roads, railways, and housing through strong partnerships with the private sector. As we enter the next chapter, a revitalized public works department will lead maintenance, with local governments enhancing district roads. We are committed to expanding railways and upgrading airports to connect Ghana for a stronger future. While much has been achieved, there's still more to do. Vote for Baumia. Baumia means business. In 2017, the NPP inherited an infrastructure network in need of renewal. We've since focused on building modern, resilient infrastructure, expanding roads, railways, and housing through strong partnerships with the private sector. As we enter the next chapter, a revitalized public works department will lead maintenance, with local governments enhancing district.
Hello there, good morning and welcome to the sports segment here on ABC in the morning. I am Derek Kumiki-Siedu. Let's dive into the world of sports as Nigerians under 20 side, the Flying Eagles narrowly edge Ghana's under 20 side, the Black Satellite, in Wednesday's night WAFU B under 20 final at Togo, by virtue of making it to the final of the competition. Both teams had secured a spot at the upcoming Under-20 African Cup of Nations AFCON tournament before kickoff. However, fierce rivals Ghana and Nigeria locked horns for the ultimate bragging right to be crowned as the winner of the prestigious Zone B WAFU Championship. It was Nigeria who drew first blood after 34 minutes, putting the Flying Eagles in the ascendancy. After the break, despite their best effort, the Black Settlers failed to find a way back in the game as Nigeria controlled the tempo of the game. However, 15 minutes from time, Ghana's talisman Jerry Efriye bagged his fifth goal of the tournament to create the nervy finale. Nigeria's defense withheld the Settlers' pressure as they clinched the WAFU B Under-20 Championship. And now, former Minister for Youth and Sport, Elvis Efriye Ankra, has called for a renewed focus on nurturing young football talent in Ghana. He emphasized the importance of developing these players to ensure a seamless transition to the senior national team, especially in light of the Black Stars' recent poor performances. Efriye Ankra expressed concern over the lack of effective pathway for players moving from youth teams to the Black Stars. He noted that the Ghana Football Association's GFA failure to promote players from the youth rank has hindered the country's football progress. He further stressed that the talent should be nurtured based on performance, competence and capability rather than connection or favoritism within the football hierarchy. And now Asante Kotoko will stand by bottom side Legon Cities as the Porcupine Warrior suffered a 2-1 loss at the University of Ghana Stadium on Wednesday night. Legon Cities were determined to put things right after disappointing starts to the season, losing 5 and drawing 2 prior to their meeting with Kotoko. Meanwhile, Asante Kotoko were in search for a win to move more level on point with BBN Gold Stars at the summit of the league. But it was the hosts who struck first after 23 minutes when Albert Yeboah put them ahead against the run of play, taking a surprise lead at the interval. However, after the break, Kumasi Asante Kotoko grew into the game, creating opportunities but failing to find their back of the net. On the 76th minute, Kotoko's Albert Amwa ensured parity for his side as he tacked home a penalty to back his 5th goal of the season. The game looked destined to end in a draw until Legon City's Rahim Abdul scored a late goal to ensure the hosts bagged their first 3 points of the season, whilst the visitors suffered their first league defeat of the season. Well, that's how we wrap up the sports segment here on ABC in the morning. For more sports updates, please follow our website at www.abcnewsgh.com. I am Derek Kumi Kisiedu.
Over the past 8 years, the NPP has significantly improved support for our most vulnerable citizens. From expanding school meal programs, enrolling 300,000 more people in the LEAP initiative, enhancing health care for expectant mothers, we've strengthened the fabric of our society. But our work isn't done. We are committed to further enhancing these programs and introducing new initiatives to ensure that every Ghanaian has the opportunity to thrive. Vote for progress. Vote for care. Vote for Baumia. Baumia means business. In 2017, the NPP inherited an infrastructure network in need of renewal. We've since focused on building modern, resilient infrastructure, expanding roads, railways, and housing through strong partnerships with the private sector. As we enter the next chapter, a revitalized public works department will lead maintenance, with local governments enhancing district roads. We are committed to expanding railways and upgrading airports to connect Ghana for a stronger future. While much has been achieved, there's still more to do. Vote for Bawumia. Bawumia means business. In 2017, the NPP inherited an infrastructure network in need of renewal. We've since focused on building modern, resilient infrastructure, expanding roads, railways, and housing through strong partnerships with the private sector. As we enter the next chapter, a revitalized public works department will lead maintenance, with local governments enhancing district roads. We are committed to expanding railways and upgrading airports to connect Ghana for a stronger future. While much has been achieved, there's still more to do. Vote for Bawumia. Bawumia means business. In 2017, the NPP inherited an infrastructure network in need of renewal. We've since focused on building modern, resilient infrastructure, expanding roads, railways, and housing through strong partnerships with the private sector. As we enter the next chapter, a revitalized public works department will lead maintenance, with local governments enhancing district roads. We are committed to expanding railways and upgrading airports to connect Ghana for a stronger future. While much has been achieved, there's still more to do. Vote for Bawumia. Bawumia means business.
2017, the NPP inherited a fragmented digital infrastructure that limited public service efficiency. Since then, we've revolutionized how services are delivered with the Ghana card and mobile money interoperability, enhancing speed and accessibility. Our efforts have greatly improved government interactions, making life easier for every Ghanaian. However, our vision doesn't stop here. We aim to further expand and modernize Ghana's digital landscape.
Welcome to the health segment on ABC in the morning. I am Eric Mello, and it's time to do some health updates. So finally, the month of October is done. That means that today is the last day of the month, but still there's more education to be done, and of course the awareness of breast cancer. So today our focus will be centered on the myths associated with breast cancer. Yes, we know that October is ending, but as I said, the awareness never does end anytime soon. So there are several myths surrounding breast cancer that can cause confusion and anxiety, and also a misinformation. Now, so we are here to give you some of the common myths that most of you do have, and we actually bring you the real facts of it. So let's begin, right? So the first myth most of you seem to be talking about, or seem to talk about, is the fact that breast cancer can develop when you start wearing a bra with an underwire. So the ladies or the women, most of you say wearing a bra with an underwire can also cause breast cancer. So what actually is the fact of it? So there's no scientific evidence so far to support this claim. So if you've heard somewhere that if you wear a a bra which actually has a underwire beneath it, it means that you're actually going to get breast cancer. Well, scientifically it has not been proven. So that's the first myth, and it's fact. Now the second one has to do with applying antiperspirant and deodorant. People say that doing these things can also cause breast cancer. A lot of people have this misconception about applying antiperspirant and deodorant, saying that it can cause breast cancer. The real fact is research has also found out that no conclusive link between antiperspirant or deodorant can cause breast cancer. So you are free to use your antiperspirant or your deodorant wherever you go, because of course smelling good equally matters, okay? Now, the third myth has to do with breast cancer only affect women over 40. I think in our previous tips here on health tips, we have made mention about that. But most people still have this misconception that when you're 40 and you're a woman, that's when, or over 40 alone, that's when you can get breast cancer. So the real fact is that breast cancer can affect women of any age, including younger women. Some weeks ago, we spoke about even how breast cancer can affect younger kids as early as 12, 13. As far as you don't get your breast examined often, you're likely to develop breast cancer. So the early detection we always preach about really matters. Then again, most men also say that they cannot get breast cancer. I have spoken about it. In fact, on this segment, we have done a lot of education. So the real fact is men can also develop breast cancer. Although it's rare, less than about 1% cases so far have been recorded, but it is possible that breast cancer can be associated or can affect some portion of men. It means that you also have to do some screening as well. Then let's move about to the fifth one, where people do say that breast cancer is contagious. Well, that's very interesting, opinions I do hear people say or share whether breast cancer is contagious or not. So the real fact is breast cancer is not contagious and cannot be spread through a touch or a contact. Some people are very health paranoid. They feel like once you have a breast cancer, it means that when I sit beside you or when I even touch you or any part of your body, I'm likely to also get that same disease. Well, fact is that breast cancer cannot spread through a touch or a personal contact. Okay, away from that, let's do more. Some of you also have said that mammograms can cause breast cancer. It's quite interesting. Mammograms, most of you say the mammograms can cause breast cancer. So the real fact is mammograms use low dose radiation, and the benefit of screening outweigh the risk. So whilst we advocate that you have to get your breast examined, most of you, as I've said, are quite paranoid with the fact that as far as somebody has it, you feel that when you even go to the hospital and they test you with it, you are likely to get it. Mammograms are there just to help you, So whether radiation and its benefits or its health risk, the doctors will let you know about it. So you rest assured that mammograms are not even associated with having breast cancer or you even getting breast cancer. On to the seventh one. So if you have a family history, you're definitely likely to get breast cancer. That's some of the myth most of you have, that once you have a family history, you're bound to having breast cancer. So the real fact is, yes, family history increases risk, but most breast cancers occur in women without a known family history. So if you're a woman and perhaps your grandmother had breast cancer or she suffered from breast cancer, your mother equally might have gotten it, but the likelihood that you also may possibly get it is higher. So you always have to go and examine your breast. But it's a myth. It also can be true. So this one, it's a 50-50 until the doctor tells you that it is possible, like you can have it. That it means that you have to be careful. So the myth about breast cancer on women likelihood getting breast cancer because they have a family history, that also is an education we spoke about. Then again, some of you have myths about breast cancer always having or causes a lump. Now, not all breast cancer apparently produce a lump. Some lumps can actually be benign. You cannot even see it. So physically, it may be appearing on your breast, but most often than not, you can also not see it, but it actually exists at this part of your breast. So whilst we advocate that yes, or the causes that be that once you see a lump develop at your breast, it means that you're likely to get a breast cancer, most often than not also it does not even show. The lump does not even come. So it's benign, and you unless you visit your hospital or your doctor for a confirmation, you're likely also to suffer from that. So yes, the myth is there, but the real fact is it is likely to also happen. Then again, people say that breast cancer treatment always involve mastectomy. So the fact is, treatment options vary, and many women undergo laptectomy or breast conserving surgery. That's some of the myth and the real fact about it. So treatment options vary, and many women undergo, as I've said, laptectomy, or they undergo, I should say, a breast conserving surgery, which is actually very healthy for people who seem to be very paranoid but still have it you know, they actually would have to undergo this. Then the 10th myth, most interestingly, is the fact that most of you say that breast cancer is a death sentence. We've actually done education about this. So with early detection and treatment, many women have survived breast cancer, and they actually still live in a healthy life. So without even, you know, you'll see physically that, you know, they have it recently. Let me just not even go far. A very seasoned, sensational singer, Stephanie Benson, recently, I mean, she has been an advocate about breast cancer. You see her, she looks very, very beautiful, but she had breast cancer. She's done a lot of advocacy about that, and she's still living. See how pretty she is. You know, she's looking very beautiful. So yes, it's not a death sentence. You can actually become a very positive human once you get tested earlier. Now the myth again, people also say, is that you're too young for breast cancer. No. Breast cancer does not know your age. As far as you do not get tested or get screened earlier, it means that you're at risk. So women about 40 plus should also get annual mammograms. Younger women with risk factors may also need earlier screening. We've preached about this. And just before we wrapping up on this health segment with regards to anything or everything about breast cancer, we are saying that breast cancer actually exists, but early detection and signs and symptoms do exist. If you see any signs and symptoms, you just have to be careful and cautious to visit your hospital. So yes, the best way to know is to get your breast screened regularly, and of course that's all we have to say, or educate you so far about breast cancer. So this is where we wrap up on the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Stay tuned for more information as and when in a subsequent health tips. This has been the end of Health Tips here on ABC in the Morning. The show continues right after this.